Greetings
And welcome
to the Cool Club. I am Matt Hatter,
I'm your Uncle Cheese.
and this is a show we're doing for you. What are we doing
Also
today?
us.
And us, mostly us, for our own entertainment.
50-50.
Yeah,
We want everyone to enjoy it.
it's the equal, love.
But
Oh.
on tap for today is fictional characters that have inspired us the most.
That is good. That is good. I'm gonna left field this one, and we're gonna knock it out of the park with a video game character first. My personal favorite, and probably one of my personal heroes, Ramzabuel.
Of course you go Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy Tactics, one of the most Shakespearean video games probably ever made. At least as far as my opinion's concerned, but I spent an ungodly amount of youth hours playing that game in every aspect that could, would, and probably maybe even shouldn't have been played. But suffice it to say, I had plenty of mimes, and I know how to use a calculator. Arithmetician in War of the Lions iteration, but
You played that one so much. That was one of the very few games you would not let me play.
it was special to me. It was very special. I was very
And that's
defensive
fair.
over that one. It was
I had Onimusha, but I
that was
digress.
prized possession. I mean, I would even give me Tactics Ogre before that. And I say Ramza. And why do I say Ramza? Why not? I mean, honestly, why not?
WWRD. What would Ramza do? Like straight up, that should be bracelets the world over.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, well, here's why. Because I think he is the epitome of a Final Fantasy hero. Like, of all of them, I mean, the first four, Warriors of Light, unnamed, whatever you name them, they defeat chaos, fuck up time. They go back to the present. All their wonderful deeds are now just a silent requiem that the four of them remember. Heroic. Wonderful. Awesome. They put the game on the map, but not as badass as Ramza. We're going to skip the non-American releases of 2 and 3, skip straight to 4. Cecil. Deeply dark past. Dude had some baggage. Dark Knight, Mage Murderer, Crystal Stealer.
Not good things, no bueno.
It's probably some pretty, it's heavy karma there or some shit. But he was still, he redeemed himself, became a paladin, respectable, his love for Rosa, great. And I'm going to skip a few other Final Fantasies and just go straight to say, Cloud, we all love you, but boy, you are the OG emo kid for, especially the Final Fantasy series, usurped only by Squall, because, I mean, frankly, Cloud at least had a reason to be deeply depressed and whatnot, but
Yeah, Squall's like, I maybe died.
he was
In theory?
bitching before that even happened, though. Like,
You
No,
got a
he
gun
was-
blade, choose one or the other. You got a knife, you got a gun.
I liked
Can we-
the gunblade, but it never shot anything. I think it was like a concussion thing.
They don't
The
have, like,
whole game
bullets.
never
Yeah, they
made
don't have, like,
sense.
bullets.
And on top of that, he just, he was never happy about anything. Always, giving everyone the cold shoulder, and he was like, "Oh, I'm the reluctant leader, and I hate it all. I hate everything." And great, but the game didn't even make sense. 9, Zidane, good character and everything, but he was a killing machine designed to wipe out a planet. I mean, that's not cool either. That's a cool redemption arc, great for coming back around, but I think Ramza wins it for the Final Fantasy series for me as a whole. One of my favorite games, series, if you couldn't tell. But it's because Ramza was done with. He would not let anything deter him from serving like the truest justice. I mean, he was truly trying to save Iblis, while all of these other schemers and agenda weavers and politicians and evil knights and Lucavi demons and holy stones or zodiac stones, he's tearing the country apart in war and after the 50 Years' War and just war upon war. A great metaphor for humanity. But and that was it. I mean, not only did the game did they do just a phenomenal job of the real horrors of war, those deserted by the nobility and everything, and Ramza being part of the nobility, after witnessing their atrocities firsthand at the hand of his own brothers, he deserts. He renounces his title to. I mean, you could take it as him, maybe getting depressed or, getting lost, go find himself to real after watching, what he thought his best friend and his sister blow up in a thing. That's, that'll touch you. Not well either. But, so, as the game progresses, he always does the right and just thing. He truly attains the good and wants to help the people of Iblis, the poor class. He wants the unification and stop the exploiters. And he's a pure heart, that lion's heart. He took to it and he went and fought a silent war that got him branded a heretic. And his brother turned into a Lucavi demon and tried to kill him. He had to kill his brother. He had to kill his other brother because he was possessed by the other brother, Lucavi demon. It gets really tangled. Spoilers.
He's got it all, man. He's got the martyr. He's got the dedicated, the service.
But he's not he's not a martyr in a holier than thou sort of sense. He's a
yeah, maybe not the exact right word.
But, I mean, in a way he is. I mean, well, no, he didn't die. I mean, but, they buried his sister at the end, But, again, spoilers. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry for spoiling a, 30-year-old game.
But it's the internet. We can still be held accountable for that. People get upset. And,
take us to freaking YouTube court.
Oh, God. I can't appear there. But he just an unshakable faith in duty and serving the greater good and to truly save Iblis from sure destruction at the hand of these otherworldly demons. And not a thanks, not a you're welcome, nothing. No, he disappeared into silence and it was given to his power-hungry best friend who... ended up getting stabbed by the princess because he was kind of a dick. And
that is all the most Final Fantasy shit that I've ever heard. And I love it. I couldn't love it more.
That's why it's really hard to beat Tactics because, I mean, as far as Final Fantasies go, it really, really, really just did it right. And yeah, so I'd say if there was a character from my youth that really inspired me to like him, it's just that strong sense of justice. It just... always wanting to do right. And he made friends with the underdog, and he found people along the way that believed in him and saw through the veil of the lies and bullshit that the politics were playing against each other just for war and power. And
that sounds familiar. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's all too familiar, but. Yeah, it was his unshakable faith in his duty and just wouldn't stop. I mean, he followed through and relentlessly pursued. I mean, I say the right thing, but essentially, it's the greater good. It was for the benefit of all and to no credit, erased from history. And that's kind of the premise at the beginning of the game, was that you uncover this history and find Ramza's story to restore history to something, to give him finally his just desserts and say things like, yeah, that guy, he's the one that, made it so that we're all here today and not enslaved by some trans-dimensional demon summoned by stones. And
which, pretty cool if you ask me. I mean, that's a cool guy.
Yeah,
to say the least.
he's a guy I'd want on my side. And,
Yeah, I'd gladly have him in my party any day. And we're going to have to get on those WWRD merch
bracelets, yeah.
coming.
Can probably do that.
Maybe.
But yeah, he was a character. I mean, there's plenty of literary references I could make, or movies, or whatever, what have you. But that's one character that will always stick close to my heart. That really inspired me to want to, I don't know, be something better. I guess, or at least try. I mean, he knew that. He I mean, he had the church after him. He had the black line, the white line after him, and they were all
the lines.
All the lines, and then even the subversive Templars who had their own secret plot because they were the ones doing the demon shit, and
FF lore goes deep, and it's all in this guy's brain. I swear.
Oh my god. It replaced most of my school lessons, I think, but I get by.
Now that he wipes back to front is just... I don't know how that has anything to do with it, but I'm sure it does.
I don't even know what to say. That just took it off guard. Ramza inspired me.
Sorry.
That didn't.
Sorry. I mean, facts, though.
Yes. So, yeah, that was real world inspiration, I think, and it just hit me at the right age. It was
formative.
Yeah, very formative, but still, I mean, what, like 6th grade, just trying to figure out like that I'm even a human being, and then you see something like this, and that's, to me, it's like, these characters find you in life, whether it be through books or movies, and that's what they're there for, is for you to, not necessarily emulate them, but to see those same qualities within yourself, and to say that, hey, I like that, and it speaks to me because I too possess those same qualities, and it forces you to look at those things, and it's like, I don't know, you attain to be better because essentially you're just acknowledging something that, it took a character to reveal to you. It took like what's yours?
Only through a story, a fictional story, sometimes with these great challenges, can you kind of see what some people are made of. I mean, there's a lot of war heroes and stuff with great stories, but there's something about fiction and fantasy that really gets you.
Oh, and Ramza's oldest brother poisoned their fucking dad. That, yeah, nixed him so he could take control of the House of Ove, and
that sounds like Game of Thrones, but that's pretty much a mishmash of every fantasy that guy could rip off.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I have
humble opinion.
I share that opinion. Not a fan, but just me.
Going to mine.
Like, literally. Or just us, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, so
I guess first, I mean, the invincible juggernaut King Marco. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit over there. There's a juggernaut there.
Big action figure. You can see him hulking from here.
First of all, is the hero, or the villain turned hero. Wow, I'm very articulate today, aren't I? I just like the original story of him being a coward soldier, and he runs into the cave in, was it Vietnam or Korea? Can't remember exactly what country, but find the ruby bands of Sirtak.
Which one of our many wars?
And then the cave collapses in on him, and he spends like freaking 3 years climbing out of the mountain, or like something like that. I'd have to read the encyclopedia again he's standing on, but quite a long time. Which is just the tenacity. He's the invincible juggernaut, I guess, is why he kind of inspires me in a sort of, I guess I'd say, like a spirit animal kind of way. Like, yeah, there's the little engine that could, and then there's the big old juggernaut that absolutely will.
definitely a force of nature type of character, like the unstoppable force embodied. And that's pretty cool. It just, see, I didn't know that about the Juggernaut. I actually didn't know much Juggernaut lore, to be honest with you. I was not aware that he became a good guy. I always thought he was one of the bad mutants, you know, that...
Yeah, he does eventually become good. My universes are mixed. They've done so many storylines and crap, and I was mostly into the comics, and we could get what we could get scrounging through long boxes back in the day. But I do. The M2 universe introduced the son of Juggernaut, where the kid is. He gets the Juggernaut powers intermittently, and he at first doesn't understand it, learns how to kind of conjure it, but it turns out that the Juggernaut from the alternate dimension he gets stuck in when he saves the X-Men, and he gets stuck in a pocket dimension, and the last thing he says in that panel too is, "I'll get out of here, nothing stops the Juggernaut."
Shame what they did to him in the movies.
The movie, don't even...
Sorry, I just, it brought back that pain.
The
that
Invincible
sting.
Juggernaut. I remember being in the theater as a very small child, mom and dad in the theater, and I stood up and I said, "Bullshit, nothing stops the Juggernaut." My parents were mortified, but I was correct and I stand by it all day.
He was right.
A brick wall. Come on.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
3 years of digging out of the hole, is that what kind of turned him evil? Like,
I
did that
think he
just
had like a
piss him off?
vendetta against someone. Yeah, I think he became. I do need to brush up on my Juggernaut. I am not as well.
So if it was like some sort of like metaphysical object,
Yeah,
is he technically a mutant? Just curious. I mean, now I have questions.
That's a good question.
Because that's more like Doctor Strange territory. Magic objects.
Because. I don't know if it changes him. At least in the M2 universe, when he returns to his son and shit, he's still like big as fuck like the Juggernaut, but he's not like not quite as big. And he basically gives his powers to his son to start the Avengers next generation Avengers. That was great with Thunderstrike and Wildside.
And I thought Tactics was a tangled web. Yeah, that's
We ought to hear something cool. One of the what ifs, Xavier follows him into the cave, and Xavier gets the ruby, and so he's the most powerful mind and body in oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
You want to read a what if? You pick up just one what if in your lifetime. Get that one.
It's pretty interesting. What else we got? Do another one? Yeah. Oh. Well, okay. So we're kind of into the nerdy mode. I gotta go with Master Chief.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Halo story is a back against the wall, desperate. That kind of Independence Day feel of, we're here in the universe, we have a right to exist and not be exterminated by aliens with some, I don't know, techno-religious vendetta. They really just, they weren't very clear as to why they hated us or thought that we were blind, or maybe they just wanted our land, I mean, we had been doing that to all sorts of stuff, I guess.
As far as
kind of fell back on us at one point in the future.
Yeah, I can remember from the books, right, is that it was like we were basically in their way.
No, they took us as like some sort of affront. Like, they thought we were like filthy,
like
heathen creatures, but it didn't exactly explain like what drove them to that conclusion. Like, at least I never found anything.
Good point.
Really,
I can't really remember.
But that's not. That's not the point. The whole point is, it's like
we're gonna give the government back their bomb.
Oh, I skipped a day of school to go to the midnight release of that game. Wow, priorities, huh? Um, I would
With the
not take
school
that back.
system we had,
It didn't matter.
no.
They probably didn't even notice, honestly. But no, yeah, there's just some of the few lines of Master Chief. You know, he's there to finish his fight. One of my favorites of the Chief of all time is, you know, I think he said either something like a soldier never does any, or oh, what the hell was it? Sorry, losing my quotes here. I never seek merit for doing what's expected of you, and that's
Yeah,
it's simple and in a war against just daunting. And the original Halo actually made a much better attempt at they kind of humanized the aliens too much, and it dulled their threat. I thought.
yeah. I didn't really dig the Arbiter stuff and whatnot. I didn't want them to be sympathetic villains. I didn't want them to speak English. I wanted them to go work.
Unintelligible. You don't know what they're saying. It's scary as hell because this collective of alien races is just raining upon us with technology unheard of,
And then the skull would make sense that makes you not able to use their weapons, because that makes sense. Like, how Covenant weapons, how do they work?
backpedaled, Forerunner technology is basically what it was. I think it was just a race to the accident. Is whoever happened to cross Forerunner technology first, and it wasn't us. But
But yeah,
but the Chief himself, another just unshakable character, just utter faith in everything he does. And I mean, they tread the line of the metaphysical in that, and they don't necessarily spell it out, but Cortana even says, you know, like, why did she select him as... That was something.
well, if my power goes out, someone hit a pole. Or something.
Sirens go, then someone just got shot. But
there was too much reverberation in the house. Someone hit something.
we're gonna choose to ignore that, and yeah, and say that
These things happen all the time here.
just a day in the life. What can you say?
You just keep chugging forward, man.
Every day GTA. I love Master Chief. Inspires me to do better in life, but
absolutely, and I think he kind of like, because the Spartans kind of got a raw deal. We all know that. But
yeah, they were
he's
military
like,
experiments. I mean,
he's just like, I'm here. I might as well just be a badass and kill all these aliens.
you know, of all the Spartans they did feature, none of them really seemed to be bitter about it.
Not in the games.
Yeah, that's true.
Certainly
I mean,
in Halo
in
Legends and in books.
In the books, they did flesh out the psychological effects of watching their friends get crippled by military madness. Yeah, the books added a layer that you didn't really think about before, but it also makes the Chief just that much. I mean, his sense of duty just to purely. I mean, he's not out there to just destroy the Covenant like some.
Right, he'd probably rather be doing that than what their original purpose was.
Yeah, which was destroying other humans, because that's what humans like to do.
We're
Destroy
good at
other humans, and yeah, so it's like, hey, let's augment these other humans to just kill other humans really good. Like, yeah, that's...
Yeah, I'd like to wake up from crisis. Say, hey, remember how we had you, like, murdering people? Now we got these aliens, man. They're a problem.
Bad. They're worse than the other people. Turns out. Now we all have to be friends, otherwise the aliens are just gonna come down here and just shit on every planet we inhabit and turn it to glass, because
yeah, that's a hell of a thing too.
That
the
is
whole glassing the planets.
Yeah, that
man.
is extreme. That is a
end of Reach.
Oh, Noble
the
Six.
whole Reach.
Noble Six, or the whole Noble team, was an inspirational team. In fact, that encapsulates all that Halo could and should and would be. That game is like, that was a return to form after
that was
a series of disappointments.
Our jams. Not only the story, but we fucking leaderboarded our region servers or whatever.
Lots
man.
of nerding and leaderboarding, and we played too much of that, but we were good. I mean,
Yeah, you can be good at a game when you play it for 16 hours a day. Go figure.
I should have
been playing
learned
guitar.
piano.
Jinxie,
I could have bought a
Dr.
violin,
Pepper.
damn it. But oh man, yeah, yeah, you know, I mean, Noble Six for being a real good silent protagonist. He held it together well, but Chief, he delivered like powerful lines. He didn't speak often, but he spoke enough to be like, you know,
Oh, he
just
should,
that
yeah, he
giving the Covenant back their bomb. Man, that was the best part of Halo 2. I'll be honest. That scene,
I shot my shot when he said that for the first time.
yeah, Master Chief was just like
I shot it hard.
you're all that is man, apparently. You know, like.
Dude, that guy's on Cameo. The freaking, he's on Cameo. The Master Chief actor.
What the hell's his name? Dave. Is it Dave Hayter? I think. Oh no, that's Solid Snake. This is Snake. See, Snake's. You can't see Snake as being inspirational though. He's sad. He's kind of a tragic character, really. Like, I mean, he's inspirational to his sense of duty to a degree. I mean, he's a real gray area inspiration, but not like the Chief. The Chief is like, you know,
I mean,
we gotta save humanity, but he's always kind to the other UNSC soldiers. You know, he looks out for them, and he's get out of here, fly.
Flies, man.
Yeah, it's tis the season, I guess. I don't know where they're coming from. No, I think it's just the one. We have a guest.
It's really bugging me. Well,
You went there.
I
but-
did. Next place, I think I'm gonna go.
Before you do, I just have to add this.
Please.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it because it's a very weird high concept type of thing. But being the Chief was, you know, kind of half man, half machine, and you know, he had Cortana inserted in his head. But the bond those two developed between Super Cyborg Slayer and AI Lady, and like, I don't know, there was something true there that they really cared about each other, and he would go to the ends of the earth for anyone, living or his AI. Like, I mean, hey, look at Halo 4 when it actually started coming back around to making sense before it jumped off again and pissed everyone off, and I gave up on it.
Yeah.
I'll always love the Chief and be inspired by you, but
I will say 4 online. I
don't
really
even play
like
any more
4.
Halo in my life.
4, the story, played through it once at your house a long ass time ago, and then I just destroyed people online.
I mean, it was...
That was my experience with 4. Then the Forerunner, dude. I don't know, man.
Oh,
Dude,
the
one
Didact, yeah.
One question about the Forerunner. Go through all this trouble, but yet you'd save some Flood to just release? But wasn't that the whole problem?
Why did you put them on the thing that destroys everything that the Flood would eat, too? I mean, they say it was for research and science and all that, but you think after they figured out that these things are unstoppable,
Yeah.
we just have to wipe out
You
the
don't just move the Flood to the trash. You gotta empty the trash.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
before you hit the reset button on the universe, so that, you know, they kind of, or on the galaxy, so they kind of at least go with it and you don't have to worry about it again. Well, they created their little arc and seeded the planets again with peoples and whatnot, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it was a
seems
dick
like an
move.
oversight.
Maybe it was a dick move, actually. Maybe they wanted it to happen. They're just like, you know what, fuckers? We got wiped out by this. See how you fare if you happen upon this when you become space travelers, or
It seems to defeat the whole purpose of sacrificing themselves to save the galaxy or whatever.
sacrificing the entire galaxy to
To save the
stop what
galaxy.
happens again because of their negligence.
Just a little plot hole I had to throw in, and just really quick, slept on character, Faux Hammer. Echo 490, she is f***ing dropping you, she's picking you up. Can't do that game without Faux Hammer.
No, and you, I remember, young enough, but legitimately felt something when he blew her out of the sky. That was
Full hammer out.
So hammer, goodbye. That was a weak ass salute. Well, I would have hit the table. Never mind me, but yeah, the chief. I gotta say, he would probably.
Yeah, he's kind of a, like, you gotta.
Oh man, there's so many.
You gotta at least mention.
God, now we're on video games. It's like just reeling with all these characters. It's like, you know, like, that guy, like that guy, is because
you get us on video games, and that's when I come to my next point. Aloy. Terrible name, great character. That beginning scene. Anyone else start playing that game, not knowing what her name is. The whole ritual about getting her name, then he lifts her up and he's like, Aloy!
Oh, you know.
Not out of done.
You know, I did see that, and that was,
Either way, strong female protagonist. They didn't shove down your throat. They didn't do it all weird like some of the Marvel movies. Like, look at all the girl power, and we're all woke about girl power. Just a strong
I didn't play the game, but
protagonist. And it's just a very it's a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey to figure out what your world was. Figure out the mystery, man. It's a ride. I really need to get on my New Game Plus on that.
a real off the base question, but you brought up this journey of self-discovery. Is Dark Souls a journey of self-discovery, or is that like some sort of... Or is it just nihilistic through and through?
It is.
I mean, you do light the flame.
It is. You roll and you slash a lot. You roll and you hit.
Oh, fuck.
And then a bunch of people are like, this is super hard. And I'm like, have you played hard games? Because...
Ninja Gaiden.
I can
on
believe...
Nintendo.
To be honest, never played
that.
Demon Souls. Never played Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 2 was Dark Souls Poo. And Dark Souls 3, pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Not as hard as people like to make it out to be. And, you know, maybe that's just coming from a guy who, you know, plays Doom on Nightmare.
I don't know why,
don't even translate.
That just makes me feel like I need more coffee, and I really should not drink any more coffee. But no, thinking of Doom, I think it's that it's like a caffeine rush from hell. Like everything's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, especially Super Nintendo. You can't even tell what anything is. Oh my goodness.
Is that an enemy? You should have saw it on the PCs back then. My god.
Well, we had it on the Gateway. It was good.
No, even older.
Oh, you're talking like a
I'm
straight
talking
DOS,
when it was floppy disks and
floppy disks.
Floppy disks and Math Blaster.
Anyone has disc 3 for me? That'd be great.
That'd be a nice thing to find. Math Blasters. Could he be inspirational?
You know.
He didn't inspire me.
No.
I did like the game, but I can't say... I mean, he was just kind of there. A cool little alien guy. A robot. I was never certain. Why did he hate those numbers? Didn't he blow them up? Do I recall that
indiscriminately.
correctly?
Prime numbers?
Am I just dating myself
whole
needlessly?
Numbers? Integers? I think I was ruthless. Yeah, that smells good.
You know...
Don't smoke, kids. It's, you know,
yeah, it's bad, but
this is the cool club, but this is the thing that makes us uncool.
Well, this is what happens when this is what happens when a lot of things happen, and now you're stuck with it and glad that it's the least of your problems. So yeah, you know.
Life isn't easy as you think it's gonna be now.
But that's why we have like people like Chief and Ramza.
So
and,
we can strive.
I'm sure Ramza wasn't a smoker, but I don't know. After fighting all those Lucavi, I mean, he probably found some plant in the wilderness survivalist and said, "No, man, I'm rolling this up." I just fought Zodiac demons. I mean, that's scary shit if you really think about it. It's like, whoa, I mean, not only did he just shit on this entire world's religion and rip it apart and very anti, or yeah, there's a lot of anti-establishment type of things in that game, and
The
it
only thing,
spoke to me at a young age
the,
too.
the only thing scarier I can think in the Final Fantasy world is the Disney buyout. When we started putting Goofy in Final Fantasy and calling giant keys blades, even though they're not sharp, and that's what blade means. But I digress.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you love the game, you love the game. I hear some good things.
I get why.
I just couldn't. I just couldn't reconcile it.
I played the first one. I will say that I didn't beat it or anything. I did not bother to play through because it was personally nauseating. It didn't really make sense to me. I didn't understand what was going on. Why are my favorite characters here?
I don't know what it was.
Why is this on the PS2? Like, what's happening?
And I don't know
what happened to Squaresoft.
What it was about us, but like, I mean, there was definitely Disney stuff that we liked, but for some reason, that wasn't like a big part of our childhood. I guess.
That's an inspirational character. I can say something nice about Disney, and anyone who knows anything about me.
The owl from Fox and the Hound?
No.
Oh.
Well, she's cool, but no, I just Disney and I don't see eye to eye as they purchase my childhood and just smash it into the ground like a fucking meteorite from space. It's exploding and ruining everything, killing all the dinosaurs.
I would say faster Sulu, but I don't think CBS getting rid of that anytime soon. But Disney got Disney money, so you never know.
No, what I was going to say...
The day that happens, I riot.
...was Milo Thatch, played by Michael J. Fox, in a movie you just don't even hear about. Was that Lost Kingdom of Atlantis, or Lost City of Atlantis? I can't remember.
Solid call.
Was it Atlantis, the Lost Kingdom? Or the Lost Empire?
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
Freaking Vinny. Oh my goodness. Mole.
Yeah, that was unique.
Sorry, you're talking about Milo.
It was a very unique movie for what it was. And, here's Milo, he's otherwise a skinny little book nerd. Don't know where I could draw any parallels to myself there. And,
yeah, you don't even look like him, like...
If I grew my hair out and put on those weird little round antique glasses I have...
Yeah,
I got a Halloween costume or cosplay, yeah. I could pull it off.
I like your Mr. Mime idea too. No, it was
Tactics, not Mr. Mime, the Mime from Tactics.
Sorry,
you had like the cuckoo.
Dude, anytime Mime happens in my brain, Mr. Mime!
Oh.
Mr. Mime!
Man.
And all the people being like, Mr. Mime's Ash's dad.
Gross.
What?
I refuse. That's
I mean, if you don't mind getting on topic, what's with all the terrible, terrible cartoon conspiracies? Like Ed, Ed, and Eddie, they're all dead, and it's kids from different eras and purgatory and...
Because we, as society, cannot leave well enough alone to just simply enjoy something. And not look at these characters as, like... Well, maybe that's the difference, is... I'm not looking at Ramza and being like, nah, you were secretly a Lucavi the whole time for no fucking reason. I have no reason to say this. I mean... But... Or because everyone gave him the Zodiac Stones, or that maybe he was the true Saint Ajora type of figure, Jesus guy. They gave him all the stones. He assembled the Braves. And I know I keep going back to Tactics, but that's my Final Fantasy love affair, man. I mean, to me it was a perfect game. I mean, it's hard to top for RPGs with the, especially if you're into the. I mean, it combined everything. My nerdy. Chess playing, Estes rocket flying, Final Fantasy loving, Jules Verne reading nerd kid liked.
We didn't just have Estes rockets. We had Star Wars Estes rockets. Welcome to the cool club.
Welcome. You have been indoctrinated now.
You're in.
Well, and it was 6th grade too. Yeah, it was Tactics and Estes rockets. I joined that rocketry class, and took time, painted my rocket real nice, and that's way off base. We're talking about the inspirational things, not some waxing nostalgic of small munitions. I mean, they do use solid state fuel. Anyway,
would you consider digital representations of real people fictional? Yeah, that's
It's a gray area, but I can see what you're getting at. Like, did you have one in mind, or just any in general?
Shaggy 2 Dope, Tony Hawk. Just, I mean, I guess also real people that inspire me, but through the proxy of their character in a thing.
Well, if you're gonna,
I'm just gonna say it.
If you're gonna say Shaggy 2 Dope in that game, then you gotta ring the bell for Andrew WK, the
Ding,
original
ding, 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 ding.
punk rock party hype man, or kind of a pop punk. Like, you just can't classify him. He is the embodiment of
he's
party,
Andrew WK,
but not a bad party where people get beat up and like no one gets along and it's cliquey and stupid. No, it's like a unified. We're all here fucking cranking out.
Like this guy's dressed in all white. Who does that?
Andrew WK does.
Exactly. Oh man.
He might be insane, but
backyard wrestling
he does it right.
Was fun. I don't care if you're
an
ICP fan or not or whatever.
But it inspired you, or a character that inspired you, right? I mean.
Well, I guess his persona as Shaggy 2 Dope is kind of a fictional character if you think about it, but also kind of real because like all the new like podcasts and stuff he does, where he's just basically Joey. He's just basically Joey with paint on.
And even if you take the agree to disagree stance on juggalos or whatever they've done, and we're just gonna put that whole thing aside and say that okay, so at least what we know is this guy came up from, the bad streets of Detroit, and I mean they made something of themselves.
Absolutely, and they created the horror rap genre basically, and they. A whole fan base. That's how you do marketing, my friends. If you can create your own fan base and they get a name. It's like so synonymous.
There's something that that's like the Kiss Army. There's something that just takes it a step beyond like just a normal.
Well, yeah, because they didn't even they didn't name it. Like one of the guys of ICP said juggalo at a show. And like, yeah, that's what we are. We're juggalos. These fans.
No, happy accident. See, works out.
The people who kind of base their whole identity on that are the kind of people that base their whole identity on anything. So take that for what you will.
I have something to say. I have something important to say on that because it's call it a social ill, if you will, but I far too often, I think people, and again, it can happen with ICP, it can happen with really pretty much anything. Insert whatever ideological standpoint or
fandom,
political affiliation.
Rick and Morty.
Even down to a cartoon that can become so divisive because people they'll incorporate it and almost they replace their own identity with it and think and use that as like a shield as their identity, and they don't really get that chance to develop themselves and look at it objectively, and that makes things hard. It's like you can look at the whole thing objectively and say I like the music and everything, but I don't need to paint my face and go to the shows. And not saying you wouldn't dress up for Comic-Con or something like that, and that's
the time I think it's acceptable. You're at the show, man.
Well, okay, and that's fine. I've never done. That was never my cup of tea. I like classical music and opera, and punk rock.
But you can still appreciate like the kind of things that they did for music and everything.
Well, I mean, I always like a good underdog story of people who come up from who rise from the ashes and. They attained some better version of themselves, and whatever it is, whatever path they're following, that they try to do right. They try to carve their way, and it's amicable, it's respectable, and it's even more respectable, when it's done well, and you're not doing it cutthroats up the chain, just getting what you want. You build something and. Other people come along and help this common cause and build it bigger, and it becomes it becomes a life of its own, and that's why I compare it to the Kiss Army, because it was more than just a following. It's like people who are really into the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yeah.
Such a niche group, but God, I love those people. I mean, batshit crazy, every one of them, but great movie. And I know it is, I mean, just don't even bother with the social norms and PC stuff about it, because it's... the thing about history is you really got to take a lot of bad with the good there, and
all I know is I can't be mad at Tim Curry for fucking anything.
It's Nigel Thornberry.
That's the Grumble.
He's all sorts of things.
Home Alone.
He was the butler, or Mr. Body, depending on the ending, in Clue. That. You want comedy gold? Watch Clue. That was brilliant. I was sending the different endings out to the theaters. That was
Quick confession: never actually watched Clue.
I'm leaving.
Well, what did I do that with you about the other day?
I said I never saw Breaking Bad. Not even an episode.
I'm out.
So we have.
This is my
we're
stop.
ending this cast now. We decided we hate each other. This is over. I forgive you.
I forgive you too, man.
I mean, the media monster is just so.
There's so many great things to consume.
And
so
so
little
many
time.
bad things to consume that you waste your time consuming. I mean, or at least things that I don't like. I mean, some people are into it.
Every Fallout since New Vegas.
Great. Yeah. I mean,
4 was fun. It was fun for a playthrough. It didn't hold the.
Can I use my Fallout character as an inspiration?
Sure. Why not? Fictional.
I have a problem with Fallout. Actually, I have a problem with Skyrim or any like multiple choice game.
Ooh, I think I know where you're going.
Tell him, because I am.
It's the you can't.
He's
be
witness to this. I'll just let you tell.
He can't be a bad boy. Stealing.
It's
doing the wrong doings. Can't do it. Can't even bring himself to do it virtually.
No.
Through a proxy of an evil character.
No, I can't make my character evil.
He can't dissociate. Well, I mean, I guess that's how we all differently play games. I mean, we want to immerse differently.
Well, I've often
you
thought
don't
that...
want to go around hurting people even virtually, man. You're just too good. You're just too good-hearted. You can't even filter it out.
No, I can't. I feel like shit because of my Skyrim character stealing something by accident. It's like, no, you just besmirched your...
You stole an apple from his barrel, man!
That's its livelihood! What do you do? You're the Dragonborn. You have responsibilities. You have to...
Where I was like, oh, dude, if you come over here, you can, like, drop through the map and get to the freaking vendor's, like, secret chest and just raid it.
Just pillage the shit out of it. I mean, take what's yours. You're the Dragonborn. It's like, yeah, I need this for my quest. Fuck you.
I don't even need this. Just fuck you.
Yeah, I'm just taking this because what do you want? Fus Roda? Is that what you want? I mean,
I'll do it, man.
See, I couldn't be that.
I got the Kinect hooked up. I actually scream it.
I couldn't be that.
Man, you really, like, when we set that Kinect up and we're like, oh, you can scream the shouts. We're like, we're screaming shouts all day now. It really quickly went from Fus Rodas to Fus Roda. Fus Roda.
Not a very well thought out mechanic. I mean, I get,
cool feature.
Novelty. It was a novelty because, I mean, who wants to sit there and scream at their television?
I am sure there are hundreds of savage nerds.
You know what? Yeah, ask Dan answered. I don't want to yell at my TV. I mean, the Dragonborn sounds a lot cooler when he does it anyway. That's what you get from me. It's like, Fus Roda. You get the smooth jazz wave that just lulls you to...
He's gonna sing it to you like a crooner.
Yeah, that's what I got. It's not even the Dragonborn, it's like the Beatnik-born.
The Beatnik.
That's bad. But yeah, impossible. Like, I never blew up Megaton. Not even to see what happened because my conscience could not handle that.
Never took over 10 Penny Tower.
Bullshit, I rated that.
Well,
No, fuck the aristocracy. I went in there and killed the shit out of them because they wanted me to blow up those people.
Yeah, that's true. You could like take.
You could
over
ignore
in
them.
that way.
You could ignore them. But I refused to do that because if it wasn't me that they were going to get to nuke that poor town, just because it was an eyesore to this old man up in a tower. Actually, no. You know, my favorite methodology of that was let the ghouls have at them because the ghouls had a vendetta. And
yeah, it's just great karmatic justice.
yeah, it really is. There's something kind of poetic about it. Because
yeah, poetic justice. That's what I was
thinking. The ghouls, the poor ghouls, like they just got a real shit end of the stick in that world. They all get all decayed and turn feral. That's not very inspirational. My character, inspirational. Every time you go in there, sacrifice the shit out of yourself for clean water for everyone. I don't care how much I just went and buffed out my character and worked to getting every single one of those points up to 9. Luckiest motherfucker in a game. Mysterious stranger all the time. But yeah, the mysterious stranger couldn't even save you from irradiating yourself when.
You ever have him show up when you go to like kill Benny in New Vegas, and you're like, bro.
Oh yeah, I've had him snake Benny from me. Like yeah, you're ready. It's you know
the one kill I don't want you on, man.
It's Wild West vengeance time. You're getting some big iron on. You're feeling the Marty Robbins, and all of a sudden you go into Vats and fucking Mysterious Stranger. He's like, guess what? Pow pow pow! You're done. You're just like, my vendetta. I am forever unfulfilled, man. You used to help me. Now you have damned me.
You know, if you're gonna use
that's a lesson about it.
If you're gonna use a Fallout character, well, I have to include this because this was when I went over to my friend Donnie's house. One of the most savage nerds, the savagest of nerds.
Oh, D&D.
Because he wrote, he rewrote everything for like a D&D script.
Of D&D. I've never done that.
So we were playing a Fallout one, and I had a ghoul named Raoul from NORAD, Vault Zero, and he was just a janitor, because like, they were already in their campaign, and they, like, broke something, we're like, oh man, like, we can't fix these things, and I was like, well, I guess I'll be the repairman, so I'm a janitor ghoul from Vault Zero named Raoul, and, hey, Hispanic ghoul, we fix things, we all need someone like that around.
You know, that's your R2-D2 character. Not to compare him to a robot, but to compare him to the guy who's like, dude, I mean, you saved everybody's asses and nobody cared. Like, you totally didn't get the credit you deserve. Well, now you do, Raoul the Ghoul and R2-D2, because...
Yeah, Raoul the Ghoul, man, he fixed some stuff. He didn't do much else, but he fixed some stuff.
You know...
We rolled some dice. We drank some beers. That's a good night. That's a good night right there.
I am going to throw in one more Fallout character. And it's not the Courier. Even though he is a very respectable character, he falls in line with all... That's why I had to say Skyrim too, because like, they're all the same fucking... They can do no wrong. I can't bring myself to do it. But we're going to go with an NPC that was inspiring. Fox. The intelligent super mutant. The well-read, smart super mutant who... He just wanted to be your friend.
The best companion in the game, hands down.
Oh yeah, I mean, great companion, and
I tried to fight him one time. Just I was like, I wonder if I could take Fox. Just save theoretical sort of situation. No, I couldn't. I mean, probably a bigger level or whatever, but he's hard. He's a tough cookie, man. You take him to the place with the death claws. That's how you get through.
Old only. Only? Something like that? I don't remember.
You know, who is it that you have to have neutral karma for? Is it Benny?
Neutral karma?
Yeah. Tunnel snakes.
One of there's Vegas? Or 3.
3, right? That's the one with the tunnel snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's neutral. I think well, maybe it is neutral, and it's that greaser guy. Oh, what the hell is his name?
Yeah, you little high school bully.
Yeah,
totally
unimportant character. I mean, important character, but you know he's just gonna go out there and that bravado is just gonna get killed in the wasteland. Like,
yeah, and I'll say the bullying from those fucking dudes in leather jackets. changed a lot when you had a female character. It was.
You know, I never did a female character.
Dude, I swear 3 made it easier. I swear 3 kind of handheld. Like, oh, if there's a chick playing this game, they're gonna need some help. It seemed easier, and that's just anecdotal experience.
I never did because it's like, you know, it's like that's not my character. That's not what I want to build. I mean,
yeah, exactly. With the immersion thing, man, you want you.
Yeah, I mean, this is me in a wasteland, or my sprite representation of me.
Into that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the whole point of the immersive experience is a role playing. You are playing the role of, you know, the character you want to be, and well, that's inspiring. In some cases, I mean, unless you blow a megaton, don't do that. That's a dick thing to do.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that you inject yourself into the game.
I wonder if they could use that as like some sort of like psychological profiling.
We're a case study for many things. I'm not sure how high on the list that one is.
I'm just saying, like, in general, like, could you determine like a person's psychological bent based on the decisions they make in a video game like that?
I'm sure there could be a very good barometer of this. GTA. Grand Theft Auto, they give you the psyche eval at the end.
Do they?
Yeah, on 5.
I never played through 5. I didn't get a chance.
I understand.
I didn't get a chance.
That was not an oof of disappointment. That was an oof of, buddy.
I know, I missed out. Like, I feel like I missed out on the Red Dead thing, but I also... See, I checked out of games like that because of Skyrim and Tactics.
Red Dead was...
And my ability to get way too immersed, and I spend way too much time on those games, so...
And if you're going to spend one on Red Dead, you're at least looking at 50 hours to beat just the main story.
And see, I have already thrown so many hours of my life out. I won't
That was... There was too much, man. Shorter story, more extra shit. And the story, I loved... The story was good. I just think Arthur was a really flawed character. I think at some point before, spoiler alerts, you know, the Dutch was acting like an asshole for a long time, to where Arthur should have been like, dude, fuck you. But he was just loyal to Dutch, I guess, until the bitter end, until it was too late. And he had the fucking the consumption.
It's a great Western. I mean,
oh, it's so beautiful.
Rockstar knocked it out of the park with all the Red Dead games. The first one included, which was phenomenal in its own right.
Red Dead Revolver.
It was never about the money. And that's the last line in that game. Fucking blows up millions of dollars worth of shit.
That ending, yeah.
Yeah, and it was never about the money. And that is some kick-ass spaghetti western dialogue. It reached out to the little Colorado cowboy in me when I first played that game, and all the redneck shit that we did growing up. Wow, yeah, it harkened back a lot, but it made you think.
But the amount of just hunting and fishing I will do on that game, just
on 2 or
yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead 1, pretty good.
See, and that's
real good.
That's a gray area for me. I mean, I can't say I spend much time doing that because it's like those are activities I would, I don't know, say prefer to reserve for real life. I mean, because we've done them both. I mean, in games and in real life, and our brother's sick obsession with those deer hunter games. My God. You want a psychological profile of a person on a video game playing Fallout.
Or any game. Oh my God. Even though you would always be a good character, you try to diversify your gameplay as much as you could.
Well, yeah.
Play through. I don't understand that he will play San Andreas the same. Every time. He will play. He will pick up Fallout.
Like verbatim.
No changes.
Whatsoever.
Make all the same decisions.
Like, I can't attain to do wrong, but I'm totally willing, for banter and change of dialogue and changing up the perks.
The skills.
Yeah, the skills and see what...
Hey, this guy's smart. He's a talker. He's a hacker talker. This guy's... He's just beat everything up.
But, I think we trailed off a little bit because I'm not feeling so inspired by these things. It
went from inspirational characters.
I got an inspirational character who's getting a reboot soon, maybe. Depends. EA, that's up to you. Isaac Clarke.
Whoa. I can't wait to stomp boxes with just extreme rage.
He is not only, well...
And also exomorphs.
Necromorphs. Yeah.
There's so much nerd stuff bouncing.
I know. What were you going for? Xenomorphs? The aliens?
Yeah, I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, point
Just
being...
put me in the lament configuration, alright?
Isaac Clarke. Why is he inspirational? Look at what that man goes through. And he had to go through Dead Space 3.
And he's just a dude. Like, he's just like an engineer guy. He's not like a badass combat, like, dude.
Yeah, he's not Doom Guy. He's not Master Chief. He's an engineer. He's Mr. Fix-It. He's futuristic Bob the Builder in here being swarmed by future alien zombie monsters that you have to dismember out of sheer survival. It makes you do the most horrifying things to these things that are, I mean, it's horror laced with horror and blood and viscera and
and that one boss is like the devil, like straight up, right? Like,
which one?
Isn't it like isn't one or two? I believe there was one of the bosses. I don't know. It got real demonic too, like space demons, like Doom.
Oh, the Brethren Moon.
Yeah.
That was some like a Lovecraftian Cthulhu type of thing. Yeah, real old ones type of shit, but almost way too close to some Mass Effect type Reaper thing. Like, sorry, it needs a reboot because that call was a little too close, a little too reminiscent of things we've already seen. But
of all the things EA has done, like, that was one of the redeemings.
But that, man, I mean, yeah, they talk about Dead Space 2. The whole needle in the eye scene, like that.
Dude.
But then on top of that, it's like, he perseveres. He's watching all his teammates and, little engineering corps that couldn't because they're being massacred by these fucking space demons.
And that's a fair excuse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that puts...
I'll give them a pass.
That halts productivity,
Your bottom line's affected.
The work order may not be fulfilled for a while. But, I mean, he watches this. That one girl betrays him because of their crazy religion that says, oh, no, we want to be these things. It's like, no, why? That is sick. No, keep me an individual. I don't want to join the hive.
I don't know. Could be cool.
No.
No.
Nah. Look, they're disgusting. I mean...
Yeah, I don't want to look like Captain Keyes at the end of Halo 1, but all mushed up with other assholes.
I mean, whoever the character designer, or the artist, whoever designed the Necromorphs did a great job of making something truly disgusting and horrifying. It's a body horror on a sci-fi level that's where the respect for Isaac Clarke comes in. He makes it through. And what does he do? He upgrades his weapons and shit because he's an engineer, and he's like, well, that's about the best I can do. And, he rage stomps those boxes. I think it's just an outlet. You get some items, but is the scream necessary?
No.
Yes.
I mean, well, no, but yes.
It's therapeutic.
It is not technically necessary, but...
But if you're surrounded in a ship full of... I don't know if they're... are they undead? I mean, I don't even know what it is at that point. They've joined some mass consciousness of a parasite. It's disgusting and gross, and most of it is just... real fucking... Yeah, it's just real gross. They look sick. It's disgusting.
Do you know what this reminds me of? And plenty of great characters to love here. Knights of Sidonia. Don't remember the main character's name. Something Japanese.
Shit,
clearly.
I should know this.
But then he's the clone of the older...
What a twisted show. I mean...
I can't wait for the new season.
That deserves
that's supposed to be coming out.
That deserves a thing of its own. Yeah, we'll just say that guy's an inspiration. Kudos to you for fighting off the, Gaia or...
Ghana.
Ghana, that was it. Yeah, it sounds like an STD or something. Ugh. And they also look fucking necromorph disgusting. It's like, what purpose in space could you possibly serve, and what evolution made you? I don't know. Something sick and disgusting that I don't even want to fathom to guess.
We'll say technically, Ahriman from the Attack on Titan inspired me. Let's not be such a little bitch.
What are you
Holy
talking
shit.
about?
Did you not watch the American dub? Did you watch the?
Either way, he
sounds a little
sacrificed
bitchy.
himself, getting steam fried as he flew around the Colossal Titan to give everyone else time, or give Eren time to.
Dang, I don't think I got that far.
That's fucking noble, dude.
I don't think I got that far.
He put his life before his friends and fucking. Well, I won't spoil it for you. I'll leave it at that.
Dang. I mean, I wasn't really planning on.
He found his courage. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's a very redemptive thing, or not even redemptive, because it's like, I get why he was scared. Again,
Yeah,
big disgusting creatures want to eat you. It's
just a bad cheap joke on my part.
I
Armin.
got you.
You know
I got
what?
you. But I gotta defend.
Apologies, Armin.
I gotta defend Armin because I mean, it's just it reminds me of me and my best friend back then. You know, he was the littler blonde kid, where I was the scrappier, more fucking let's take to it, Aaron. I can do anything because I'm mad and.
real Frodo and Samwise, you two growing up.
Yep, and also Lord of the Rings. That's just inspiration through and through. We'll just put that.
We'll just say Tolkien.
Yeah, Tolkien.
I mean, not fictional, but
no, but inspirational.
we're saying it.
Great writer, phenomenal writer. Put together one of the best, most immersive worlds that
everyone copied forever on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that every Final Fantasy, it is the proto fantasy of fantasies that really just mainstreamed like the idea that orcs were a thing, and then you get them in Warcraft, and you get them in all that.
And then I mean we can't ignore
Skyrim.
Star Trek is the Klingons are space orcs.
Yeah,
The Romulans and the Vulcans are space elves, man. Maybe high elf, dark elf. I don't know how you want to balance that one, but you get it.
Yep, I agree. Down to their chili pepper hats.
You will never get over that.
I will never get over that. It's the most senseless fucking costume.
That's the most senseless freaking TOS movie.
You're right. So I guess in that sense,
all
the
the
hat
other ones
does
make sense.
sense.
That was virtue
For those who
signaling
don't know-
nonsense.
They were really, really, really worried about the whales at that point in time. It was, the late 80s, early 90s. They were freeing Willy. Orcas were the sympathy animal back then, by and large. Even though we were killing everything else on the planet just as horribly, the orcas got the attention for that little span. They got a few movies.
Well, they probably deserved it. Up to the whales.
They even got courtesy of the Enterprise treatment. I mean.
I always wondered,
and time travel. They time traveled to specifically get whales put on the Enterprise, and none of it works.
Because my thing is, they got two whales. One's predators.
I have to smoke just to process that movie.
How many? Does anyone know how many freaking calves a whale can have? Because I don't think two full-growns in whatever litter they could have would be a wide enough genetic base to repopulate the species.
They can print their food off the ship. I'm sure they've got it covered.
Then why didn't they just replicate motherfucking
Because they didn't have
whales?
anything left. You can't replicate the living thing, but they're probably able to clone them or some shit. Or they brought them back to. I don't know. Don't think about it. You're not supposed to. They freed Willy. That's what matters.
Oh, dumbass on me.
No, that's what it was. The whales were the only things that could understand this alien menace that was just going to destroy the shit out of Earth for reasons nobody understood. And the whales were like, "No, chill, bro. Don't." And the alien's like, "All right."
Also, the war room that kept leaking. What is this underwater? What is?
Maybe
and then
because they had to fill the ship with water.
No, I mean the war room in the where the admirals and shit are on Earth.
Oh.
Whenever they keep cutting back to that, there's just water leaking everywhere, man. I'm like, where are they?
Maybe it was some sort
Are they in Sea Lab 2021?
Oh,
Holy shit, it's 2021.
They were hanging out with Captain Murphy, man.
Underneath the sea.
Rest in peace, Captain Murphy. My God, I can't remember the actor's name, but a great show that just could not go on without him.
Truly.
They tried, but it didn't work, and they knew it.
I just know the two best ones. He's trapped under the cola machine, and when they're trapped.
Bebop Cola.
And when they're trapped in the closet with the freaking mop bucket lady thing.
Not a single redeemable character in the entire cast.
That's the point. That's the point.
There's no inspiration there unless you're looking for inspiration. Just a laugh. Just a good laugh at ridiculous shit because C-Lab was one of the golden ones and that was great. Ugh. You know,
watch this.
Alright, so I'm gonna bore you to tears with this because, well, you know me. You don't, but this guy does. And so we're gonna go back
I'd like to think they got to know you a little bit.
A little bit.
If you stuck around this long, holy fuck, thank you.
Yeah, where are we at?
An hour, 10 minutes.
We're doing great.
You're doing great.
That's inspirational. How am I doing today, Gary Busey?
Seth MacFarlane is inspirational.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
And I'll take this moment to humble brag about how Devin Townsend once called me an inspiration. I mean, I said, you're an inspiration, and he says to me, no, you are. One of the best moments of my life.
I don't think I've ever felt envy like that. I'm not proud of it, but...
Yeah, like basically Pickles the drummer.
Yeah.
Like,
Pickles told you that is just...
While I was
just
shaking his hand.
That... Didn't look you in the eye. I'm sure like eye contact and all genuine human being. It's a...
Pulled me in.
Musicians.
Because he's coming up to the front row shaking hands in the show.
People.
I squeezed between two fat sweaties. No, not body shaming. Two bigger boys. But, shake his hand, and I'm like, you're an inspiration!
You have to walk on so many eggshells.
Comes in, like, no, you are. Psh. Psh.
How could you ever feel bad about yourself after that? Or do you need any
I'm a
other...
weak man, sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
We all fall short of the glory of Corpse Grinder. I don't know why I went Corpse Grinder, but might as well. That's metal. He's metal as hell.
That's very metal. But I mean, yeah, Pickles told you you're an inspiration. That's... You can't buy those moments. No. That's a genuine thing. And that's fun.
And
that's
it was
phenomenal.
just a silly... I mean, on his part, he was just like, I could say this thing,
But...
He may know how much it meant to me, or at least have some sort of guess.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that would be said. Like, he could have been just dismissive because he's a fucking rock star, and you just, some, as Death Clock would say, some regular jack-off. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm inspired by that. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel good for you. That's great words. Great words, everybody. Inspire somebody. Do something nice and useful. Or don't. Don't let me tell you what to do. We're the internet. As far as you know, we're just digital constructs shot out by some algorithm.
Holy fuck.
Do I exist?
Yeah, we could all be in like a Matrix or...
Oh, dude, we're not going down that rabbit hole. No.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It's our reality. Whether simulated or not.
I'm not getting into it. Nope. I'm going back to inspiration. Because I had something to say. And I end the song right there.
You know who's an inspiration to us all? As the supergroup Oysterhead points out to us? Mr. Oysterhead. I don't know why. That's how the song goes. When all else has been done and said, along comes Mr. Oysterhead. He's an inspiration, he's an inspiration, he's an inspiration, he's an inspiration to us all.
The hell does that mean?
It's a Les Claypool band. You tell me.
Oh, we'll never know. We will never. That is a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a different dimension that we just leave alone. Because, I mean, well, if you heard the South Park intro and know anything about that, well, just leave it be.
Primus sucks.
Hmm?
Primus sucks.
Well, you still just let them do what they do, Just leave it be.
No, that's their motto.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. Well,
that's how you know a true
learn
fan.
something new every day.
You say Primus sucks, and someone's like, "Well, no, they don't." And not a true fan.
Well, it's
Not
not one of
really.
those I got super into,
No, you
but
did. No, man, you were not into the weirder psychedelic. I got into the
No,
weird
I
shit like the
started getting
string
into
cheese incident.
Age brought me to the weirder psychedelics when I started, really understand,
Psychedelics.
yeah, and yeah, so
Responsible experimentation in safe environments.
enough said. Don't do silly things. Just be cool, be chill, be mellow. But. And maybe we'll cap it off with this. Right? You want to end with this inspiration because this.
This ran longer than we were expecting.
That's true.
And,
So
I mean, they went weird, but it did not bad.
I think we've done okay.
Not bad.
I like it. I like me. I like you. I like everything in this room. We've done well.
I like anyone who has joined us because
Yeah, thanks for that because that's.
for you to be here,
Yeah, I mean, time.
whether you skipped forward,
Just watched the first 30 seconds, so a view thing popped up. Dismissed us after that because we're a couple of lunatics ranting about video games. Now, we can pull real world inspiration from them as well as any art medium, movies, literature, poetry. I mean, a poem that changed my life, Ulysses by Tennyson. It's, if you haven't read it, read it. Maybe it'll, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. That is a very small portion of it, but that's how it ends. And it is a very powerful poem. And it talks about the struggles and the turmoils and, the bonds we make and the things we see. Kind of a Dr. Seuss thing, only very classic literature. It's a wonderful poem. I suggest it to anybody who's feeling down.
and I recommend anything by the poet Brando Chemtrails. Literally anything.
Poets, they don't get enough play, especially nowadays. I mean,
The Shane Koiskin, it says CZ. I don't know how to pronounce that name with a YCZ. That's confusing. That sounds like a motorcycle.
poets, Virgil and
But,
Dante.
if you want to cry, Shane Koiskin. Oh my, the heartstrings. He doesn't tug at them. He plucks them like a sweet melody.
Was that that was the one?
As How to Be a Person.
Oh, he'll play your soul like a harp, a beautiful.
If you want to ugly
harp.
cry, listen to Heaven or whatever, or The Crickets Have Arthritis.
I don't know that it'd be an ugly cry so much as just a very heartfelt, emotional outpouring of, inspiration. Something that makes you. Well, are those really inspiring and these kind of.
What an ugly cry. Like when you get real cryy.
Like sobbing, like. Well, I don't want that.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Oh, okay,
here. Not like in a tragic. Well. Yes, and it's beautiful. All right.
So I'm gonna wrap our.
We got a little long in the tooth.
We're gonna start. We're going full circle with this. Welcome to the Cool Club. Final Fantasy IV, because of all the Final Fantasy characters, apart from Cloud, who mirrors many of my least flattering tendencies, super down on himself, depressed, I'm good for nothing thing. Yeah, don't do that. It's not worth the time. You're wasting your time doing that shit. Trust me, I've wasted plenty of time doing that shit, and it's not worth it. So I look to people like this. Cecil Harvey in Final Fantasy IV. He starts as the Dark Knight. He's sent by his king to go reeve this crystal from these poor mages and cut them down because, that's what you do when you go pillage things and you're a Dark Knight. And, actually, I don't think he actually did any of the slaughtering. I mean, his guard guys did, but he commanded it. The blood's on his hands. And he knew it. Mysidia knew it. We're getting there. So, returns the Baron. His girlfriend's like, Rosa, she's like, hey, you look sad. And he's like, well, I just got sent on a, war crime and atrocity. But, I'll be okay. Next day, he's like, hey, King, that was pretty shitty to send us to go, basically just go take what's not ours because, I don't know, we have airships and they don't. Like, they're mages. They didn't bother using magic, but I guess it was the airships that scared them. But neither here nor there. King's like, you have questioned me, and I'm secretly a demon. Spoiler. You'll find out later. And, that might legitimately be a spoiler, so don't listen if you haven't played Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. I'm buying that very soon, by the way, because I don't care how hammy, sappy Romeo Juliet it is. That is a beautiful fucking story, and if that one doesn't pluck at your heartstrings, just bring that, just one, maybe even a well up in the corner just to...
At least get verklempt.
Oh.
One of my favorite words, by the way.
Yes, thank you. We needed that in there.
You put that in your vocabulary.
That's what you should. If you don't know it, read about it. Look it up. Just learn a new word a day.
That's a fantastic thing to do.
It is. That's why I keep a dictionary on my desk. That's incriminating. What am I? Anyway, I am talking about... You keep a dictionary or a thesaurus on your desk just because you like new words and vocabulary?
What's another word for thesaurus? You are in the
cool club. We're going to have to figure out exactly what the differentiation between that is because I'm not certain myself. We're going to figure that out and we're going to learn something after this. But not until after I finish this, which is Cecil and Rosa. I know that it's very cliche, their whole love story and everything, but I'm going to up it a notch and say that it was Cecil's love for Rosa that won the game, that gave Cecil the strength to carry on, to persevere through, his possessed mind-controlled brother, his fucking possessed mind-controlled best friend who steals his girlfriend over and over again. He gets her back like Mario from the castle, and Bowser just keeps taking her, and nobody does anything about it, but Cecil does.
Toadstool's in the end every time he has information as to why the princess is or is not also there.
Yeah,
Sorry, I get off on these,
because it brings a lot of questions that...
I like poking holes in things.
Especially things that don't stand... they're already made of mesh.
Things that are already quite perforated.
It's, but... I firmly believe that Cecil... His love for her is what kept him from also a Lunarian, being controlled by the big bad Lunarian. And it was ultra spoiler. Here it is, end of the game. You're fighting. You're stacking up against the boss. You see the Lunarian Fusoya and Golbez, who's now he's like, I'm your brother again, and we had this moment, and doesn't matter. Zemus is like, fuck you, get out, and they're done. He wipes them out. And your party comes up and they're like, all right, well, I guess we'll have a go about it. And yeah, they
You guys care if we take a turn?
Yeah, and I can't say it's completely that, because it really was just the bond between all of them. All of them. Because you remember right there at the end where everyone was, all hope is lost, everyone's slain, and everyone's, dead before this weird hairball on the moon. That was his first form. I didn't understand that. The second form, yeah, intimidating. The first form, apparently embodied hatred looks like a big hairball with an angry face. if you remember correctly. Very confusing, but
I believe I do. I mostly watched you play Final Fantasy. I mean, I played the
That's
heck
true.
out of 10 and 10-2. One console version. That's a challenge right there. I one-hit Chaos. That's all the Final Fantasy I had to do. Okay? I one-hit Chaos cartridge version. That's all I gotta say.
that's impressive. That's impressive.
One of my best feats in gaming. One of my best feats in gaming.
I taught you well.
Or you forced me to play that game as a kid, and you gave me 3 questions, and you didn't answer my question about where to get the gosh dang canoe.
What is... yeah.
And while I still harbor a lot of anger, I do thank you for it.
It was necessary.
It made me the gamer I am today.
You may hate me, but you respect me for it. But... Okay, so we'll go with the larger... This is a big inspiration. This is a good way to end it, actually.
All right.
Because everyone's slaying before the hairball in space, and they're on the moon. Because Final Fantasy. And all of a sudden, all the other party members that got left behind for various reasons, you know, and they're all there in the original place where you stole the first crystal, and... The main mage guys, he's like, you know, our friends are, you know, we got to root for them. And so they all start this prayer chant. They send their just best wishes and hopes and prayers. And they just, and, you know, magic. It works. And so, you know, it's like, Cecil's the first one to stand up all weak and shit. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to do this. Takes the crystal out of, I don't know where he's carrying it. I mean... The size differential, I don't know how big they are. They're as big as the people when they're there, but he's carrying it. So.
The video game characters, well-known fact, they put stuff up their butt.
I just prefer that they have like some sort of, I don't know, like little multi-dimensional backpack that just goes into some void that you have to search around in forever. Where are those 99 potions? Shit.
Well, definitely.
Who's carrying this?
Definitely Jimmy from Bully kept stuff up his butt 'cause he pulled it directly out of his butt. That seems like a Rockstar thing to do.
I think and that definitely seems like something Rockstar would definitely did on purpose. That's them. But so they get sees the love. He uses the crystal. He reveals the true form of the hairball, which is just this disgusting thing that it's a necromorphic mess, you know. Like,
probably something you can see on OnlyFans.
Yeah, and you know, kicks its ass, and the moon people, the 2 moon people that are still awake, go back to sleep. His brother and Fusoya, and goes back, marries Rosa. They become king and queen of Baron, and the fucking kingdom is at peace until the sequel. And yeah, but I think that was a love conquers all moment. And Cecil defeating his darkness, spoke into the light, handed the sword to the paladin, you know, he fucking redeemed himself from... I mean, I can only imagine a Dark Knight to be like a real nihilistic downer. Like, you don't want to hang around that guy.
Yeah,
like,
not even when the Dark Knight rises do you really want to be around.
No. And that's for so many reasons. But yeah, I mean, the Dark Knight as a class, like, I mean,
comic book different.
You look at Gafgarian from Tactics, he was a Dark Knight and total dick.
I mean, I heard Dark Knight so many times, I had to try to make a Batman funny.
It worked. I thought so. And that's it. We've been inspired. I hope you're inspired. Hope someone's inspired. And next time, we welcome you to the Cool Club. We'll talk about something else.
And just, again, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You know, check up on your mates. Mental health is a real thing. And if they're like, hey, I'm good, man, be like, nah, bro. Or lady, bro. Seriously. How are you?
I would like to make one point on that, too, before we go.
Mm-hmm.
About spending your time with us and why we appreciate it, because you can say it's money, you can say it's cars, any materialistic nonsense, whatever you... But at the end of the day, your most valuable resource on this earth is your time here. That's it. Your time is your greatest and most precious commodity, so spend that shit as wisely and mindfully as possible. Like, not any weird, you know, I don't know, like, what am I trying to say?
I'm trying to say thanks for spending that.
Yeah, I mean, you
a bit of
invested
time here.
You
'cause
invested
it's very,
time, and that's your most precious resource on this planet. So the fact that you spent it here listening to us ramble on is not only just appreciated, but thanks. Thank you. Enjoy your night, day,